If I owned a small business or any business today, I would figure out what it costs to run my business today, every single day. And then from there, I'd figure out what I have to do to be able to break even. And once I can break even, how do I make profit, right?
You could do something for a long time and see no progress, and then someone that's doing it for a short time and got more progress than you.
Why do I book tune-ups? Like, that's the learning ground. Like, that's where you get those little base hits, you get started understanding, you start feeling comfortable. There's so many different types of systems out there. Every house is fucking different. I started with 10 grand, and I turned into a $5 million business in 12 months.
I was young, so it's like they try to take advantage of me. Sometimes I'd be mad, I call him on the phone angry, and the first thing he say is, control your emotions, keep your emotions out of business. You're actually doing something that nobody's doing, man. As bad as it is, it's a good thing because somebody got to do it.
All right, everybody, welcome to the RocketX podcast. I am your host, Victor Rancour. Today, I got a fun guest on here. The last couple of weeks, things got a little touchy. Some things were said. But yeah, I wanted to bring Willie on because at the end of the day, man, we got to also understand that where everybody comes from, and we want to get the both sides of the story, right? Willie, man, welcome to the podcast. Introduce yourself, and let's have a little bit of fun.
Thank you. I'm Willie Ward, 32, HVAC owner. I've been doing it for about 12 years. My daughter turned 12 in May, so 12 years in the field as well. So I'm out here fighting just like everybody else, just trying to get my foot off the ground and do it the right way with different processes. So most guys that's coming in the field, they have to grind, they got to put in all these hours. And like I had issues with certain jobs because get me wrong, I don't work for plenty of companies, and it was always an issue as far as like moving up in different positions. They have guys that been doing HVAC installer for damn near 15, 20 years, and they would not move them up to service tech. So it all depends on what company you're working for, who you are, how you approach yourself towards the owner or whoever's hiring you in that position.
Yeah, and you have to think about that too. Like, if you are getting a job, right? Like, even if you have a job, like, what is your potential there, right? Be realistic. Like, you guys can work your ass off for some dude that wouldn't even give you no motherfucking opportunity, and you don't have that option, but you keep going every day. And I always challenge you guys, man. Like, I would say, look, if I get an opportunity, I always want to grow. If I can't even grow within a business, I'm out. Like, I'll fucking see you later. Like, I gotta have a path to get to somewhere I want to go, right? When I started as a technician, I needed to know how to get to become a sales guy, and then I needed to figure out how to become an owner or a general manager, and then an owner and all that shit. So I had to have a path. Otherwise,
You'd be stuck in that same box.
I find so many guys that get stuck in these routes, and then they don't want to have that. They don't even want to put themselves out there. Let's talk about it a little bit. Obviously, you got in the trade. You started as, probably the bottom of the barrel, like grunt work and shit. Doing for the first couple of years? It's like
first couple of years when I first worked, it was a guy named Thomas. His company was a Solutions Heat and Air. I was doing basically everything: duct work, install, and service. And then when I left him, I got with a real company, and they had me as a technician, kind of like a maintenance technician. I did the maintenances, and if it was like a repair or a major repair or a TXV or end core, they have the senior techs to do the repairs. I'm the one who come in, tell the client what needs to be done, and they have the senior techs to come repair it. So that's how I came up in the game.
And that's a pretty common thing, right? Like, obviously the maintenance techs, you got to get out there. You guys are kind of like the Trojan horse, right? Get in the door,
and shit.
You go shake the tree, see if there's anything there.
You need those guys, though. You need those guys, because if you don't know the systems, you do a damn 10 maintenances a day, you're gonna learn the system and how it operates.
I talk to a lot of people all the time. They're like, why do I book tune-ups? Like, that's the learning ground. Like, that's where you get those little base hits. You get started understanding, you start feeling comfortable, because like there's so many different types of systems out there that every house is fucking different. Every house you go into, like, you have to have a certain amount of at-bats before you really become comfortable, right? Like, I talk to a lot of guys, they want to like hurry up from becoming a technical sales guy. Like, you get comfortable, learn your shit. Like, I moved up fast, but like, if you understood my knowledge, is because I just dedicated every minute to it. Like, I wasn't trying to fuck around. Like, I remember when I first got into HVAC, I had my daughter, and when I had my daughter, I was like, I'm gonna be sober. Like, I don't want to fuck around. I'm gonna be sober. I'm no drinking, no smoking, no nothing, right? I ain't partying. All I did every fucking day was work. I was working 15 hours a day, and I was at home, I was studying, and I didn't want to have to worry about technical. If I'm worried about technical, I can't worry about selling. So I got the down, and once you got the technical down, then you can start understanding that, like, okay, I know I can fix anything. Now I can focus on the customer, right? And so many guys, like, they get the technical down, but they never transition to start focusing on the customer, understanding what they want, asking them the right questions, communicate, how to sell, how to upsell, like stuff like that. And that's how you start making the real money. but they never turned that corner. They never changed. They never changed from what they're used to.
That's where the disconnect come from. You got guys who've been technicians their whole life, now they're owners and they still a technician.
Well, they also don't understand what it costs to run the business, right? And I talk to contractors every day, and like the first thing I always ask them is like, what does it cost to run your business every day? Well, I don't know. You know, they take a guess, and I said, well, that's the first thing I would go figure out. If I owned a small business or any business today, I would figure out what it costs to run my business today, every single day, and then from there, I figure out what I have to do to be able to break even. And once I can break even, how do I make profit, right? And then all of a sudden, every day you're just chasing your ass because you don't know what it costs to run your business, but you think you're making money, you think you're doing it, and you don't take the time to slow down and say, hey, no, this is how I make money. You know, first thing I always say is get to break even, right? Once you get to break even, then we can figure out how to start making profit. But if you can't get to break even, no, there's no way to go to profit first.
That's true. That's kind of like where I'm at right now. I never had nobody to really, like my mentor, he's a good guy. He molded me like as far as a man and showing me how to get my feelings out of business, because sometimes I would have to deal with clients, they either like try to handle me some type of way. I was young, so it's like they try to take advantage of me. Sometimes I'd be mad. I call him on the phone angry, and the first thing he say is, control your emotions. Keep your emotions out of business.
When I first started my business, it was like beginning of August 2018. I went to my buddy's pizza shop. We had some beers, literally like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 IPAs. I don't know how many I drank. I was pretty fucked up. But talking to my boy, he's like, why don't you just start your own business? I'm like, that's a good idea. Like literally I'm like, that sounds like a good idea. I'm like, I never started a business. I don't know what it costs. I don't know how to start an LLC. I don't know how to do any of that shit, right? Like I never before. I literally went home that night. I got on my stomach on my living room floor. I was still drinking more beers. You know, next day, like I came up with a name, like boom, let's do it. For the next couple of days, like I'm like, I still got to go to work. And I was really trying to wait till the 15th of August because I was supposed to get like a $5,000 or $10,000 bonus. I don't remember what it was, but it was a pretty significant bonus I was supposed to wait for. And I was like, okay, I'll get that bonus, then I'll start the business. But I was like, dude, I went to work and I'm like, I can't do this. Like I either have to quit now or whatever. And my brother actually is the one that made me pull the trigger to Mike, like, fuck this shit, let's start our job. He's like, all right, fuck yeah. And Big Mike drives to the office and quits. I'm like, Mike, what the fuck? I gotta wait for my bonus. He's like, fuck it, I already turned the truck in. I'm like, all right, then I'm in too, fuck it. I drove, turned my shit in, and like the next day, boom, I started texting everybody on my phone, hey, I started a business. By the next day, we already had an install, boom, ended up, and then it's all in. I had no choice.
At that point, yeah.
I always say, it's like the story, like there's this Spanish sailor, right, and he was leading his team into battle. They were going to go take over this island, right? So they pull up to the island, boom, they're getting ready to unload. They unload their shit about to charge this island. As the team starts getting off the boat, they start heading towards the island. Hernan Cortez turns around and lights the boats on fire. And he's like, hey, we're either going to take this island or we're going to fucking die. Those are your choice. And that's what happens when you go all in on something. It allows you to go all in and all your focus. And guess what? You are probably going to win because you got no other choice. And we got no other.
Win or fail.
Where do you see the business, 3, 4, 5 years from now?
Where I see the business is just like, once I do the rebrand, and when I'm finally realizing you could do something for a long time and see no progress, and then someone that's doing it for a short time and got more progress than you. So basically, I've been working in the wrong system for a long time. And I appreciate you for everything you've done for me, because I didn't know other guys around the world and how they maneuver and how they work until I end up going to that Profit Rocket show, and I started talking amongst other people. So now I know people in California, now I know people in Texas, now I know people in New York, Virginia, and we talk amongst each other with different owners. I have plenty of owners that reach out to me, give me advice. So it's like, man, it really woke me up. And something in my spirit that woke me up like, damn, I'm really working the wrong system. Maybe I need to change around, because I don't want to be that fucking guy that does it for years and have nothing to show for it, just a fucking beat up van and a little bit of money. No, that ain't what I want.
Yeah, man, I think that's kind of the power of the events. Like a lot of people like the things on stage, and I look at the events like, because I used to go to events when I first started my business, and I wanted to get around people that are doing big shit, and just getting out there and you get to meet with people, you get to interact, you get to understand like a lot of people are going through the same struggle as you are, or they've already been through to get out of it, and you have those conversations. And I think that's really the power of the events more than anything is the network, right? Because the better your network is, and you can start working together. I mean, I'm in group chats with people all over the country. Some people I talk to in Australia, obviously Canada, stuff like that. Like I talk to people like, you saw the amount of messages I go out to every day, but each person that I talk to, even if they're asking me for help, I'm learning something from them, right? Because they'd be like, hey, I have this problem. I'm like, how would I fix that problem? Okay, well, maybe other people are having that problem. Now I want to make a video for the blueprint, right? Recently, like I had the conversation with my team, man. I was like, I got to make the blueprint affordable for everybody. So I said, okay, if you got under 10 employees, I'm gonna make it $500 a month so you can have access to all my shit, every SOP, job training, everything you can have. Like, I have so much shit in there. I'm like $500. Like, yeah, if they're under 10 employees, they get $500 a month, because I want more people to see the other side of business, to understand the financials, understand how all the operations and all that shit. My team thinks I'm crazy, but I'm like, there's more people under 10 employees than there are over 10 employees. And how do we get those guys below 10 employees and get them to grow? I always say it's about LTV, right? Lifetime value. I want that customer to keep coming back and wanting to do business with me. I want them to feel like I helped them, because if I go and take all their money up front and I didn't help them, how are they going to feel about me? I'm more of a legacy at this point than anything else. Like, I want to build a legacy of people that I helped along the way. I wanted to bring you on this podcast to obviously clear the air on all that stuff. And
you're actually doing something that nobody's doing, man. And as bad as it is, it's a good thing, because somebody got to do it. Nobody's willing to take that risk. So if anybody could talk down, they don't understand the pressure. Really much is the pressure of doing it, just doing it every day.
But Willie, man, I want to say thanks for coming on. Thanks for telling your story. Is there anything you want to leave the audience with before jumping off?
Hey, man, leave Victor the hell alone.
Hey, I'm a witty motherfucker too. I got a PhD in shit talking, so like I will go back and forth all day. If people don't get it, I'm like, don't fuck with me, man. I will fuck around and find out. But Willie, man, I respect you. I respect what you're doing. I love watching your business. I love supporting you. I'd love to have you back out at the event this year. If you want to come out, I got a ticket waiting for you. I'd love to see you get out there. I know a lot of people would love to see you. You make a lot of people laugh. You will follow your story. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep plugging away, and let me know if there's anything I can help with.
I appreciate you, and I bottom of my heart, I apologize. I'm at the point in my life where I want peace, and I'm not afraid to own up to my mistakes as a man. I don't have no pride issue. If I'm in the wrong, correct me. That's the people I want around me, and I appreciate you.
No problem, brother. Well, if you guys enjoyed this podcast, remember that I don't take sponsorships on this podcast. So like, share, subscribe, get other people involved. Obviously, I was trying to get as many reach as possible. And, I'll put out one last promo, May 1st through 3rd, Dallas, Texas. I got an amazing event. I got Rick Ross performing. I got over 40 different speakers that have done badass stuff in this industry, that are growing big businesses, doing big things. They want to teach you that. So go to callprofitrocket.com. Get your tickets today while you still can. I'll see you guys in Dallas. It's going to be amazing. Willie, man, thanks again for coming on.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, brother. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you, guys.